And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Just type 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me nice and clear. Let me first make sure that the playback is off. So let's turn this off. Okay, so we got an ad playing. And just type 1 if you can hear me. As usual, we're going to give it a couple of minutes before we start. As you come into the chat, if you're watching this live or if you're watching a replay, please do me a favor and like this video, share this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video, drop a comment below, make yourself known in the chat. Also, my business channel is in the link, a link to my business channel is in the description below. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram as well, a link to my other social media platforms is in the description below. So, okay, so we got ones. Good evening, everybody. Today is going to be a really good build. I hope that this is my last Dame Dash video. I don't want to make it a habit of attacking Dame Dash, because a lot of people think that this is attacking him. What I feel like I'm doing is actually putting Dame Dash into proper context, because a lot of young people listen to people like Dame Dash, and he sends out conflicting messages that can be very detrimental to you if you are trying to be an aspiring entrepreneur, an artist, a creative. Dame Dash is someone that you need to really use discernment when listening to what he has to say. Good evening, everyone. And understand, I'm not going to be on here slandering Dame Dash in any way. I don't have any financial documents to prove that Dame Dash is broke, but I'm going to let Dame Dash say it out of his mouth. And we're going to use his own words, and we're going to put it in a proper context. And I hope that when you walk away from this, you begin to understand that what exploitation looks like, what is a culture vulture, because that word gets thrown around a lot. And a lot of people are of the mindset that because you're black, that you can't be a culture vulture. And that's just the furthest thing from the truth. We just watched Popeyes pretend, their whole marketing scheme around Popeyes is of a black company. And we're noticing how they're basically exploiting black people. So let's give it another 30 seconds. At the 3-minute mark, we're going to start to build. I'll do my introduction, and then we're going to get into some actual real facts. No beating around the bush about what's going on here. Big facts, culture vulture. Dame Dash isn't a good businessman, but I don't think he's a culture vulture. Yeah, Dame Dash seems like a cunning individual. Good evening. He can't maintain relationships, period. We're going to Starlet, we're going to dive into that deep today. Like I said today, this live stream may be about an hour and a half, 2 hours of information. I hate to do these long live streams because I know people are not going to watch it through its entirety, but I'm tired of people trying to, pass him off as if he's some messiah and that he's a voice that we need to be listening to as a people. Okay, so now we could begin to build. As I just stated before, I'm not here to attack Dame Dash or kick him while he's down. I believe everybody is redeemable once you go through whatever you're going through. I'm here to put Dame Dash's rhetoric into context. And see, this is the problem with a lot of ADOS foundational black people, is that we don't know what exploitation looks like. And this is one thing that I agree with Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore about. See, it's easy to come in here and talk pro-black and talk about culture vulture this, and we just got to stick together and we just got to work with our own. It's easy to say those things. But then you got to really start looking at a person's actions and ask yourself a simple question. Are the actions lining up with the rhetoric? See, Choke No Joke the other day did a live stream. You got to ask yourself, what neighborhood does Dame Dash live in? What type of people is Dame Dash employing? Right? See, when he has a book coming out, he wants to talk culture vulture this, culture vulture that. And the reason why he's so pro-black is because he's been blackballed out of the industry, not because his message is so strong, but because his behavior is so erratic. The way he talks to people and treat people, he's burned every bridge, not because he was some great maverick businessman and people want to steal his ideas, but because he was too busy stealing money from people, allegedly. He was too busy abusing women, allegedly. He was too busy snaking his business partners, stealing their wives and their girlfriends, allegedly, to the point where no one wants to work with him. So now, what do most people do when they run out of all other avenues, they turn pro-black because they have nowhere else to go. And if you think that cutting off all of your bridges to be like Dame Dash is a good business move, you're a fool. If you think you're going to walk into a meeting and you're going to call someone that has $100 million that can finance your business, if you think you're going to walk in there and call him a culture vulture and talk about, I'm a bully the bullies and I'm going to oppress the oppressors, they're going to laugh your ass out that meeting. So now what we're going to do right now is understand that Dame Dash did that No Jumper podcast. He did it for $500. I want you to tell me what tycoon, what big businessman is going to go on a podcast and get paid $100? I mean, $500. You think Jay-Z's going on a podcast for $500? You think Drake is going to go do a podcast for $500? You think Dr. Dre or Diddy is doing a podcast for $500? Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say. Oh, man, you just hating. How do you know he only got paid $500? Well, let's get to the facts right now. Let's hear it from Adam's mouth.
I paid Dame Dash for this interview. Now, it wasn't much. It was $500. But I paid $500. It was weird because my publicist is going back and forth with his Connect, whatever it is. And the publicist or the Connect is like, yeah, is this a paid interview? And my publicist asked me, she's like, what am I supposed to say when people ask that? And I said, say no. Say it's not paid. And so she said that, and then they come back to her and they say, we're gonna need $500 for his haircut and his driver. That was what they specified. Now, we thought this was pretty hilarious after because his haircut, he literally does not have a hair on his head. And that's not a diss or anything. I'm sure there would be some hair on his head, but he rocks a baldy. Dame Dash shaves his head. So that sounds like a pretty expensive.
So, again, don't come on here and tell me I'm slandering him in any way. Don't come on here and tell me I'm hating on the black man. You can't come up here and talk that boss talk, that tycoon talk, and you out here doing podcast interviews with $500. Now, I know what some of you Hotep pro-black brothers is going to say. Oh, why shouldn't he get paid for his information? If he's going to come up there and the guy Adam's going to make money, he should get paid too. Adam did not know if that podcast was going to do well or not. Adam didn't know that. That podcast could have been a flop. Dame Dash did that podcast for $500 because he needs that money. Now, you know how I know he needs the money? Because we're about to play the interview where he comes out and he talks about how he is all flash and no cash. And see, this is why we got to understand about a lot of people in our community is that they pretend to build up these alter egos of success, of wealth, but they're really faking it till they make it. And there's a lot of people that fake it till they make it. And if you don't believe me, I'm about to play his own words. Now, I can't show him saying this, but I'm going to give you the timestamp and I'm going to play the audio. So let me flip it back to me real quick. We're going to go to the No Jumper podcast. If you go to the 20-minute, 55-second mark and you play it, you're going to hear him say out of his own mouth that he is bleeding money. And he is all flash and no cash. I'm going to play it right now so you can hear it out of his mouth.
Someone that's giving him that funding.
Hold on. Let me turn this up a little bit.
And once they get there, they just get missing.
Right.
So that's when I had to learn to stop investing in people and just to invest in me and my skills. And it's like, yo, I see the scam out here. It's crazy. So if you don't really know this game, something that should cost 10 racks costs you 100. Something that should cost $1 million costs you 10, 20.
Uh-huh.
And I'm the master of a lot of flash, no cash, meaning I'd rather show you something than talk about it. And if I spend $1 million, it looks like I spent 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear me just said if I spend $1 million, it looks like I spent 10? He just said I'm the master of all flash and no cash. He is. See, he can come on here and bamboozle you because a lot of you don't know what a successful business looks like. A lot of you do not know what a successful entrepreneur looks like. A lot of us as a community, as a collective, we believe that material things somehow equates to wealth. Having a nice house equates to having, being wealthy. And a lot of these people are going into debt to live this lifestyle, to fake it till they make it. See, by them faking it till they make it is the way that they can sell you. All of that stuff is debt. Having a nice big house, a Rolls Royce, a bunch of jewelry, that's debt. That's not real wealth.
Damn, period. So I know the game, but being able to not only make a movie, make TV shows, make docuseries, to have, I have a 5,000 square foot facility in Burbank the last 2 years. I've been bleeding for the last 10 years, spending money, not making it, spending money, and still having to pay a lot of bills. But
he said, I've been bleeding money. I've been spending money for the past 10 years. Spending money, not making money, is word for word what he just said out of his mouth. The reason why is because he's an independent. He doesn't have any outside sources of money. And that's just not a good businessman. A good businessman masters OPM, other people's money. So if I lose money, I didn't lose money. We all lost money. I'd rather get 5 people and all 5 of us put up 20% to spread out the risk. No smart businessman takes on all of the risks, because if you take on all of the risks, you're taking on all of the liabilities. Everything's on you 100%. But see, a lot of you think that that's good business. That's stupid business. You can't be a jack of all trades because you'll be a master of none. You have to be able to work well with other people. You have to be able to have a team of people that can get with you and actually put together a real movement. See, that's the problem with a lot of us. But see, he's a narcissist. He is the prime example of a narcissistic person. But a lot of you think that that's good business. And I'm going to play his words again so you can hear him say it in multiple interviews. Right? He's not making any money. He's bleeding cash. He's bleeding money. I don't gotta look more like right here. Here we have a fool. He's talking about Rachel Roy and how Macy's takes their cut and he only has 5% after expenses. No, he's not just talking about Rachel Roy. He said this in multiple interviews. He's talking about Dash Studios. Okay? He's talking about him launching his streaming service. He's talking about his movies. Okay? He's not talking about Macy's. I looked at plenty of his interviews. He's talking about all of his businesses. He's bleeding cash. He's not making money. Real businessmen don't owe child support. Men who are making hundreds of millions of dollars don't owe child support. You don't go to jail for child support if you're making millions of dollars. You ain't talking to no fool. You talking to a real businessman. I run a real businessman. I clear close to $250,000 a year net. You ain't talking to no fool. Businessmen don't go to jail for child support. Jeff Bezos is not going to jail for child support. Bill Gates ain't going to jail for child support. So stop that, okay? Because we're going to get to that in a second. But let's replay what he just said.
I chose that life because I'm loving it. I'm doing all original work. No one does that. Hip hop money and still having to pay a lot of bills. It costs you 10, 20. And I'm the master of a lot of flash, no cash, meaning like, I'd rather show you something than talk about it. And if I spend $1 million, it looks like I spent 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Period. So I know the game, but being able to not only make a movie, make TV shows, make docuseries, to have, I have a 5,000 square foot facility in Burbank the last 2 years. I've been bleeding for the last 10 years, spending money, not making it, spending money, and still having to pay a lot of bills. But I chose that life because I'm loving it. I'm doing what I got to do because I can see the future. I'm so far ahead of everybody. I can tell them my plans. Nobody can say they could launch a network right now and 24 hours of it is original programming. No one knows how to fund that shit, direct that shit, distribute that shit, package that shit. Y'all don't know how to do that. You can't do it. And if you learn, you need you're going to need some backup. It ain't going, it's me and my girl did that,
So did you hear what he just said? Don't tell me I'm taking him out of context. He said me and my girl did that. He's not talking about Rachel Roy right now. He's talking about Dash Studios. Understand, I'm well read and well researched. It's him and his girl. You know what Dame Dash is doing? He's doing what I'm doing right now. He's basically running a YouTube channel. Don't believe me? Let's get to it, because I know a lot of you are going to say, Dame Dash, if you go to Dash Studios, let's pull it up, Dame Dash basically has a YouTube channel. And there's nothing wrong with being a YouTuber. I don't want you to think that I'm hating on him in any way. He's a YouTuber. Don't believe me? Let's pull it up right now. YouTuber. He has 42,000 followers. No, not knocking him anyway. This is his YouTube channel. This is Dame Dash Studios. This is what he's talking about, launching a network. This is his network. YouTube's a beautiful platform. There are people on this platform that make millions of dollars. I'm not hating them. But don't come on here talking that tycoon talk. Don't come on here talking that tycoon talk when you're on YouTube. This is what you're doing. You're getting 300 views, 230 views, 250 views, 370 views. You're a YouTuber. You're a YouTuber. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't come on here trying to talk about that you big pimpin', you a boss. No, you're a YouTuber. And the only way he's relevant is talking about Jay-Z. Notice the only time he gains traction is when he's talking about Jay-Z. Right? Jay-Z's out here making moves. Jay-Z's out here moving and shaking. You can say whatever you want about Jay. We're not here to debate about whether or not Jay's a sellout or not. We're talking about real entrepreneurship in business. See, he has to play to black pathology because he's trying to cater to black pathology. See, you pay his bills. You pay his bills. You think he's going to come out and speak about how he really feels? See, there's a lot of people who talk that pro-black babble, but they don't live pro-black. They don't hire pro-black, and they don't spend their money with black people. But they'll come to you and talk about, yeah, don't be a culture vulture, don't sell out. He's forced to have to take that route. Because let me explain something to you. I have 5 business partners in my business. Not one of my business partners are black. All my business partners are white or Middle Eastern. None of my business partners are culture vulture and me. We all have equal risk in our business. No one's taking advantage of me. No one's taking advantage of me. Now, Choke No Joke just exposed the fact that Dame Dash, all he's hiring is a bunch of white people. That's all he's doing, is hiring a bunch of white people. And if you go and look at it, that's what he's basically doing. Now, I want you to see why no one wants to work with Dame Dash. I want you to see his behavior. And I want to see how you are... The way he be. Oh, also look at this. This is the website called Social Blade. You can go and look up and see how much money a person's channel is actually making. He's making between $85 a month and $1.4 thousand. So now, how you gonna come lecture me and talk big business to me when you making $16,000 a year in AdSense money? You're making the same money I'm making. So I want you to see, you got to really dissect the person and really start listening to what a person is saying. Bosses don't take $500 for an interview. Bosses is not on YouTube making $16,000 a month. But then, see, it's nothing wrong with making 16 grand. I'm not knocking that. But you can't come talk boss to me if you only making $16,000. Now, if you like a Ty Lopez, if you're like a Grant Cardone, you know, if you making $30,000-$40,000 a month on YouTube, yeah, you could talk that big Willie talk. And you got products and services that you selling. Not when you making, $16,000 a year. That's not boss. Sorry, that's not boss. That's a struggling YouTuber. It's a struggling YouTuber. That's not boss talk. That's regular people. That's like a B-list celebrity. B-list celebrities charge $500 to go and do an interview. Right? So now I want you to look at Dame Dash's behavior, right? See, this is why nobody in the industry wants to work with him.
No, I don't. I'm wasting money right now. This will be the last time that happens. If she does that again, she's fired. If she doesn't respect me as a director, she's fired. That's it. If she fucks with my process, she's fired. I don't have time for personal because I lose money. So now, because she disrespected me, didn't show up, I told her to prep, and they're making excuses for being that she's a professional. So I'm not playing these games. And this will be the last time I'm yelling at her, because the next time she's fired. I just want to be clear. So you can have an attitude, you can look stupid, you can say shit. Matter of fact, if she says something, she's fired. Period. I have not rolled the camera yet. I can fire her. She already did enough to get fired. Please do not let her think being unprofessional is all right.
Now look at this. While he's ranting and raving, look how everybody's quiet. Whenever you see people get quiet like that, when a person, and my bad, if I said 16,000 a month, I need to fix that. It says 16,000 for the year. He's making between $85 and $1,400 per month, which is a grand total at the high end of 16,000. 757 Trucker, thank you for the donation. I will get back into that your question. I will address that towards the end. So I just want to clarify that he's not making 16,000 a month. It says estimated yearly earnings. So he's making between $1,000 and $16,000 in AdSense for the year. Now, granted, he could be selling other products and merchandise and services. I'm not saying that. I'm just simply here to let you know, let's put things in perspective and context. You ain't no big boss. Now, back to why he's been blackballed. This is the kind of behavior that he was doing back in the Rockefeller days, and he's still carrying on and behaving like this, which is why people don't want to work with him.
All these people, I worked all night last night and I was here. She keeps asking me the same questions over and over again so she can fucking disrespect me. You don't start the movie like that. I can't move forward. Now I'm closed. Now we gotta waste time. So she does that shit again. If I waste another second because of her, and she knows better. You ask further here, you fired. Because you're not starring in nothing nowhere else. Not in this very moment. You going on readings and you got a movie to do? Do that shit again.
So, this is a pro-black man. This is a man that cares about his people. 757 Truck, I see your question now. Yes, if you want to do business, you're going to have to do business with other ethnicities and other cultures. If you want to be a good businessman, you don't have to sell out your morals and principles to do business with people. You can come to the business table, and this is for you young entrepreneurs out here. You can be black first. You can be pro-black. That doesn't mean you have to be anti-white. See, you can be a person who have morals and integrity and principles and do business with other societies without being an asshole. You don't have to go out here and be disrespectful and rude and arrogant to people. Okay? You don't have to go out of your way to just, dehumanize people and disrespect people of other ethnicities and cultures. You can come in there with, listen, this is my value proposition. This is the deal that I want to go into. See, let me tell you why a lot of these young rappers do 360 deals. Because they're whack rappers. And they know it's better to do a 360 deal because I only got one or two hot songs. Like the guy Blueface. You really think after his song with Cardi B, Bust Down Tatiana, you really think that he's going to have any music outside of that? He's not going to have any music outside of that. And I'm glad OG Bootsy just said that. Because in today's climate, if you talk like that to one of your employees or one of a contracted worker, that's a harassment lawsuit waiting to happen. That's a harassment lawsuit waiting to happen. No strong corporation is going to want to have that in the Me Too era, in this social justice warrior climate. You really think that you're going to go out here, you're going to speak like that to your employees? You will be sued immediately. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. So I'm breaking this down. That's a culture vulture. Look at the people surrounded around him. Do you see any of these pro-black people working with him? What happened to the guy Hip Hop Motivator? Right? What happened to Kenyatta Griggs? We about to get to that. What happened to the guy from Hip Hop Motivation? Why did the guy from Hip Hop Motivation stop working with Dame Dash? Why did Jim Jones come out and call Dame Dash a culture vulture? What happened with Dame Dash and Currency? What happened with Dame Dash and Beanie Sigel? See, why is it that every time he works with black people or other black entrepreneurs or talent, there's always a problem? Because they can see through the game. I keep trying to tell you, a lot of these people want to talk that pro-black babble because it's a way to charm and disarm you. Oh, we just got to start school for the black boys, right? We got to help these black boys with ADHD. Come on, family. I got to help you get your mind right. I got to teach you a diet about ancient Kemet. See, it's a way to get you to let your guard down so they can get in your mind and get in your pocket. That's why they want to talk that pro-black to you. But see, people like me who doing real business, I don't care what color you are. What I care about is the detail in the deal. I don't care if you black, white, Chinese, Middle Eastern, Asian. I don't care if you were alien from Mars. You could be a reptilian, shape-shifting alien from planet X. What I care about is, can we get this money? That's all I care about at the end of the day. When we doing business, can we get this money? If we can't get this money, it's nothing to talk about. I don't care if you're black. Can you help me make money? Are you bringing value? Are we exchanging value? Or are you just telling me you black, I gotta hire you? So now, let's get to what happened with Dame Dash and Kenyatta Griggs. So here is Dame Dash a few months ago. Let's play this.
Pause. I'm looking past it. So Jay-Z, if I've offended you, I apologize. Leo Cohen, if I offended you, I apologize. Steve Stout, if I've offended you, I apologize. Just because you don't have the same morals and principles, it's cool. I'm not angry no more. You know, I called Jim Jones today, and I was like, I miss him. I don't know, y'all know, but I miss him. As a brother, I love his family. I want him to be happy. And Jay, you know, the friendship we had was cool, man. I just miss it. But whatever he doing, but I'm cool with it, bro. I'm sorry, man. I wasn't myself for a second. Ali had me fucked up. And Biggs, I'm sorry, bro, if I offended you. Whatever you doing, I'm with it. I love you, man. And I know you're mad at me, but whatever. I'm sorry. I can admit it. You know, when I make some money, I'll send you something. It's because you're my brother. I love your family.
So, where's all of this culture vulture talk at? Now it's I apologize. I'm sorry. I called Jim Jones and I apologized. Right? So now we go out here, we write the book Culture Vulture. We go out of our way. See, he was pretending, he was playing up the Culture Vulture mantra because it sells. He was playing that pro-black babble because it was selling. See, it's a reason why people go after black people, because they know that a lot of us, we're forgiving people. We don't know how to look at things and see it for what it is. See, you can't go to another culture with that foolishness, because see, other cultures, they looking at the deal. They want to know, what's the deal? What's the equity? What's the return? What's the strategy? What's the marketing plan? Right? When they start a business, they looking at a SWOT analysis. They're looking at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats. They're doing a breakdown. They're having bankers coming and value the deal and seeing what's our strengths, where can we merge, where can we grow. They're not coming in here talking about, oh, I'm a black man, just buy something from me. Right? Newsflash, having a t-shirt company and a hat that says CEO is not a business. It's a hustle. Let me say that to you again. Having a t-shirt line and a hat that says CEO is not a business. That's not a business. That's a hustle. You can go on teespring.com and literally get an infographic and you can start selling t-shirts. That's not business. That's hustling. Outside of Rockefeller and anything tied to the celebrity of Dame Dash, what success has he had? What has he replicated outside of Rockefeller? See, when you look at someone like Gary Vee has invested in multiple angel companies, multiple companies like Snapchat. He had a chance to invest in Uber, Twitter. He's done it multiple times. He's not a one-trick pony. See, real businessmen understand leverage. They understand OPM, other people's money. See, people got to understand that. See, when he was successful at Rockefeller, it was a matter of timing. And a lot of people don't understand that. I met a guy years ago who made millions of dollars during the dot-com bubble on paper. But he never sold none of his stock. So then when the bubble burst, right, he had this big lifestyle. He was living this $5 million, $10 million lifestyle. The problem is when the bubble burst, he never sold none of his stock. He brought more. And then he realized it was all a bubble. He didn't take advantage of the opportunity. He didn't realize he happened to be lucky. He was in the right place at the right time. That's what the music industry was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You was at the right place at the right time. It didn't mean you was a good businessman. It just means that the market, it didn't reach its peak. It wasn't saturated yet, right? Everything had to run through New York, right? So you had the media capital of the world. You were lucky. You were fortunate. That didn't mean you were smart. See, some people mistake luck for brilliance, and they don't understand that. Because now you can't replicate that because the timing isn't there. It's like when I made all of that money with Bitcoin. I realized I saw inefficiencies in the marketplace, which is why I brought it. I knew for a fact this thing is a bubble. It's going to burst. As an entrepreneur, you need to see that and know that. That's why he can't replicate anything outside of that but hustle, because he's not a real entrepreneur. Timing matters. And this is why you got to be careful with who you listening to, because a lot of these people got lucky. They were born on third base and they don't even know it. People don't know it. Now, somebody just put his net worth is $2 million. Do you realize that your net worth could be $2 million? See, right now, we're in a bubble economy right now. We're getting ready to head for a recession. So you got a lot of people out here that is taking on a lot of debt to live a nice lifestyle. See, this is what a lot of you don't know about money, wealth. It's called the boom and bust cycle. This is why the bankers stay rich, right? Because when things is going good, people over leverage and they take on this lifestyle and they take on all of these debts. And then when the bottom of the economy falls out, you're not making the same money you have to make, which is when you default. It's easy to go out here and pretend like you're rich. It's easy to go get a Rolls Royce. You know how easy it is to finance a luxury car? You know how easy it is to go rent a house? Right? You know how easy it is? Now, his net worth may be $2 million, but his expenses may be 10. His child support bill may be $500,000 a year. So his net worth may just be based upon a house that he owns. That doesn't mean that he's liquid. See, a lot of you don't understand what a net worth is. A net worth is taking your car. We know a car is not an asset. A car is depreciating. A house is only an asset if it's paying you money. If a house costs you money, it's not an asset. See, assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. But see, a lot of you don't know that, right? Yeah, that car may be worth $100,000, but it take gas to run it. You got to pay insurance on it. Every time you drive it, it depreciates. But see, a lot of you don't know about the game of wealth. You don't know about the game of life. So Dame Dash can come and bamboozle you. Yeah, I'm a big businessman. I got a studio in Burbank. That's debt. That ain't income. Tell me how much money the movie Too Honorable made. Tell me right now, how much money did the movie Too Honorable make? But see, again, like I said, a lot of you ain't up on game. You don't know business because don't nobody sit down and talk to you about business. I know all about the fake it till you make it to debt. Yo, I got credit cards that got $35,000 on it. I can go easily right now out here and go get a nice car and drive around and front on Instagram and make it like I'm rich, knowing that I'm not making that money, that I'm bleeding, just to stunt for you. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was one of the best books you could ever read, and I'm glad somebody just put that there. You got to know game. You got to study. You got to know who's coming to you and what their value proposition is. He's trying to live in California. Do you realize living in California, those houses, they starting at $2 million? They're starting at $3 million? But a lot of you don't take the time out to study and listen to what a person says. See, it goes back to Umar Johnson, and I like to name drop because I like to keep things relevant. I knew from the jump, any smart businessman or woman, soon as they would have heard that he was trying to open up a school, they would have knew $1 million isn't enough. That's not even enough to maintain the school, to run the school, to hire the staff, to run the insurance, to have a medical staff on site. Any person that knew about business would know that type of stuff. So the minute that he would have came to them talking that, they would have said, oh, that don't make sense. But a lot of you don't study. So Dame Dash can come talk that, get rich foolishness to you, because it's not rich. It's not wealth. It's debt. And when the bottom of this economy fall out, a lot of these people who've been faking it till they make it, they're going to get exposed. It's easy to live high on the hog when you living through debt. Right? So now, I'm glad I just mentioned that. Because now, as I said before, let's get back to him saying this again. And let me flip it around real quick. Hold on. I got to flip it because I don't want to get a copyright. So let me flip the screen back over to me. Boom. Let's play this real quick. Listen to this.
And you like to educate us.
And I will, if you let me speak. So what I'm saying is, when you're an independent businessman, the more money you make, the more money you have to put into your business. So I'm constantly growing and evolving my business, but as far as making a profit, never. So if I make $1 million and I put it into making a movie, and I make $2 million, the next movie's gonna cost $3 million. You understand what I'm saying? And also when you're the person that's paying for things, not a person that's raising money or the face of a fund, not a person that's getting a check from somebody. Every single dollar goes into your business and your life. And that's something that not a lot of people have the heart to do. So money is always going to get made and it's always going to get spent. But you're never going to look at no money as an entrepreneur. You understand that?
I understand that. Can I get even more personal? Or no?
But you can't get mad if I get personal with you.
I won't get mad.
Oh, you don't get offended.
No. I'm not easily offended. So.
So I want to put that into perspective. So now you just heard him say it again out of his mouth that he's bleeding money. All of his money is going back into his business and his lifestyle. He said this multiple times. All of his money is going back into his business. See, I'm teaching you something right now. There's no leverage in his business, right? His business solely revolves around the personality, which is Dame Dash. That's it. This is why he has to charge people for a podcast, for an interview, because that's how he makes his money. There is no business. He is the business. And he's only relevant. He's only relevant. He's only relevant because of Jay-Z. That's it. He's only relevant because of Jay-Z. That's it. And whenever Jay-Z pops up in the news, then they'll trot him out to come out there and do what he has to do. Talk about Jay-Z. But that culture vulture message, he has to be a culture vulture against you. And see, this is what Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore try to teach you all the time about what black exploitation looks like. This is what black business looks like, where I have to sell white-owned products to black people and then mask it as black empowerment. Right? I have to come to black people and sell you something that you can go and get for cheaper and then tell you it's black empowerment. I have to exploit you and talk and create some mythic enemy to make you come give me money. So now you're going to pay me $40 for a t-shirt that's really only $15 because it's a black business. You're going to buy my streaming service even though the content on there is poorly shot and poorly edited because I'm a black business. You got to support black businesses. When you can go to Netflix and they got professional, they got Marvel movies on Netflix. So here you got him trying to run a streaming service, pretending that it's a black business, yet we know for a fact that the people working on it are not black, right? He's getting C-list actress that he's probably paying $100. So is it really a black business or is it a black charity? Is it really competing in the world of economics? Is it really competing with Netflix? Is he really out here trying to get the rights to big movies and big shows to come on his platform? Or is he going into Harlem and getting a bunch of crackheads and winos and making another drug movie and trying to make a bootleg New Jack City or making another version of Paid in Full? See, a lot of you don't study nothing. You don't read, so you don't know the game. I was in Harlem when he was shooting the movie Too Honorable. I know people. My cousin is in the movie Too Honorable. How much money you think it cost him to make the movie Too Honorable? It probably cost him to make that movie Too Honorable. It probably cost him $20,000 to make that whole movie. But a lot of you gonna sit up here and say, yeah, he got a streaming company. He has a YouTube channel. That's not no goddamn network. It's a motherfucking YouTube channel. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Let's not play these games. You're not talking to no fool. I've been doing business on a high level for a long time. I've lost a lot of money. I've made a lot of money. I know what it takes. That's not business. That's exploiting people. That's lying to people. I can go into Harlem right now and find some bootleg rappers that wanna rap and make a soundtrack. That ain't real business. That's selling people dreams. And now you think that he got a stream. That's not a streaming company. Oh, it's original content. The content is him and his wife making dinner. Is that content? Is that competing with Chef Ramsay in the Food Network? He's telling you right now that he has a streaming service, a network. It's him and his wife making vegan food and eating in their kitchen. Is that content? Is that worth me paying $8 a month for to watch you and your wife make vegan food? And then I'm going to sit up here and say, oh, I'm competing with Chef Ramsay and Chopped? Come on, man. You got to use your goddamn brain. He's not doing nothing different than what I'm doing. He's not doing nothing different than what Yvette, Antonio Moore, Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed. He's doing the same thing. He's coming on here and he's documenting his life. He's talking to you about his experiences. That's not a network. That's not original content. That's you and your wife making dinner and eating. You're basically an influencer. That's not a businessman. But see, again, like I said, a lot of you don't study, you don't read nothing, so you don't know this stuff. You don't see the game that's being ran on you time and time again. They got to pretend to be pro-black to get in your pocket. They got to play that black pathology to get in your pocket. See, I can come on here and talk like this to you because I don't need your money to live. I don't live off of selling black people hopes and dreams. So I don't got to come on here and lie to you. I don't got to come on here and talk and make up this mythical man that's after us. I don't got to do that. I don't got to lie to you. I don't got to sell you dreams. I don't got to come on here and play that game. I can come on here and speak freely because I know at the end of the day, I can make my own money outside of this. That's why I come on here and speak freely, because I really genuinely care about the mindset of young men. Because see, I came on the internet and I was bamboozled when I was younger, and I was believing in reptilian shape-shifting aliens from Planet X. I was listening to Alex Jones and thinking that the grays and the blues and all of these aliens and these reptilian interdimensional crazy beings, believing a bunch of foolishness. Foolishness. So let's get back into that, because we're about to get back into the next important part of this. So again, I don't want to get a copyright.
Well, I'm glad we can have this open and honest discussion.
I'm always open and honest discussion.
So I guess what I'm wondering here is, in order to, you talk a lot about creating your own.
I do a lot about it. I don't just talk it. I do it.
Right, but you also try to encourage other people to do it. So that's what I mean by you talk about it. You encourage other people.
I make books about it. I do classes about it. It's
well, there
about
you have
ownership. It's
so
about
you talk
doing
about
something for your children, not for yourself.
And so my question, I'm trying to ask for other people who want to pursue the Damon Dash way of owning your own business, investing in yourself. Where do you get the money to start? If you have no money, how do you do that?
You flip. You buy something for $10 and sell it for $20. After you get that $20, you buy something for $20 and you sell it for $40. After you get that $40, you buy something for $40 and you sell it for $80. It's about flipping. It's like selling drugs. It's the same thing. That's all people do. They flip.
No, that's not how you make money. That's not how you make your money. And you're not being honest and telling people the truth about how you make your money. You make your money by exploiting black people. You make your money by selling black people dreams. You make your money by telling black people that they can do it by themselves. And we know do for self doesn't work. And see, let me give you an analogy, because I really want to teach you in this. I don't want to just keep lecturing you. I want to teach you something. If you are, let's say that you are of the mindset, I only want to hire black people and I only want to sell to black people. Let me tell you how your business is going to fail. Let's say you're selling a product for $10. And you're like, I just want to hire black people and I want to sell to my people. I want to have a black-owned business. Let me tell you what any smart businessman is going to do, investor. Let me tell you how I'll just come and crush your business. if I was a white person, I'd say, he's only selling to one demographic of people. And he's only hiring one demographic of people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go find a black person, tell them, let's go be 50-50 business partners. I put up the money, you be the face. But what I'm going to do is we're going to make the product for cheaper. Check this out. We're going to make the product for cheaper. And then because we can make it for cheaper, we're going to be able to sell it for cheaper. So here you are making your little product, selling it for 10. I'm going to go get a black face to be the front, start selling the product for $7. And because I got manufacturing and I got capital, not only am I selling to black people, but I'm selling to everybody. So I'm selling your product for cheaper and I'm selling to everybody. See, this is where so many black businesses fail. They fail all the time because they have very short thinking. You want to sell to everyone. You don't want to just sit up here and be like, oh man, this is just a black business. Because now somebody can come in and say, well, we're going to take your idea, but not only are we going to make it for cheaper, but we're going to sell it to everyone. And then what we'll start doing, if you got good salespeople on your team, because we're able to make the product for cheaper, we'll start competing on salary because we're going to make the money back on margin, right? We making that extra $3 margin. So now we could come and start taking your employees because you want to sit up here. You want to have this utopian idea that it's just black, 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 black. Flip, 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 flip. You don't want to keep flipping because here's the thing with the drug game that Dame Dash doesn't want to tell you. One time you're going to go for that flip and you're going to lose. See, you don't want to keep flipping. You want to flip 1 or 2 times and then you want to get some residual income. You want to create some leverage. You don't want to be the face. Who wants to do all of the work in a business? Do you understand how stupid that is to keep flipping? Because one time you're going to go to flipping and the flip won't work. One time you're going to go to flipping, you're going to take an L. It's like playing hot potato with a grenade. Eventually, you're going to catch the grenade and it's going to explode. That's not real business. That's dumb business. It's stupid business. That's not how you do business. I want to sell to everyone. I want to create leverage. I want investors. I want strategic partnerships. I want to be competitive in the marketplace. I welcome that. That's what smart businessmen and women do. Now, let's look at this now, right? Because he's talking all of this business, money this, money that. Well, let's look what's going on here. Let's listen to what his ex-wife has to say. Businessmen don't go to jail for child support.
Collecting? And do you have any hope of collecting?
Well, he has money, but he tends on not paying his bills, so we'll see.
Linda, your answer is, remember I told you your answer to that is yes. Do I have a hope of collecting?
Oh.
The answer is yes.
Yes, I 100% hope I do collect, but on the other hand, his track record shows otherwise. But hopefully I do.
So, if you can't hear it because the wind's blowing, she's taking him to court for child support. This is 5 years old. She's saying, I hope he pays. I don't know if he will pay, but I hope he pays. Right? Now, this is relevant because I'm going to get to how this is a true narcissistic behavior because he likes to pretend that I'm giving my wife all of this money. Why is she taking me for child support? And see, so many men try to play this game where, okay, well, I gave you $100 today, so I shouldn't have to pay child support next week. I shouldn't have to pay child support next month because I gave you $100 last week. So many men try to play that game to skirt around their responsibility. Oh, well, I gave you $100,000 last month for a house, but you ain't paid child support in 5 years. You ain't paid you haven't. Don't worry. I'm gonna get the currency, Beanie Sigel, and all that. Like, don't worry, guys. I told you this is gonna be like a 2-hour live stream. I'm about to get to all of that stuff. I want to teach while I'm giving real facts and information. I want to teach you something. I want to teach you game. We're gonna get to Beanie Sigel. We're gonna get to him owing currency. We're gonna get to him owing Jim. We're gonna get to that. I got all of that lined up. I want to show you something though. He wants to play the game. Oh, I gave her $100,000 for a house, but you haven't paid child support in 8 years. See, when you're making the kind of money that Dame Dash makes, your child support bill is like $20,000, $25,000 a month. So if you don't pay your child support for 8 years, do the math. That's $300,000 a year in child support bills. His child support bill is $300,000 a year. So if you don't pay your child, now this is alleged. I don't have proof of this, right? I don't have the documentation, right? So I'm not saying that this is his case. I got to say that to protect myself, right? I don't have the documents in front of me, right? But I'm just telling you how child support works and how you end up in the arrears. Because if your child support case for all your kids is $25,000 a month, which is probably in the ballpark of what he would be paying based upon the income that he's bringing in or used to bring in, right? That means that that's $300,000 for the year in child support. So if you don't pay child support for 5 years or 8 years, you owe way more than $100,000. So you can't then come out here and play the game. Oh, I gave my wife, I gave her $100,000. What is she talking about? Yeah, you gave her $100,000, but you owe almost $1 million. See, you trying to play the game. You're trying to bamboozle people. But see, because we, as black people, we don't hold people to a standard, right? We don't have a standard. We don't have a code. We let people bamboozle us. We let people bamboozle us over and over again. He's not paying his child support. So you buying her a house is irrelevant to the fact that you ain't paid child support in 8 years. Allegedly. Allegedly. Now, again, I want to hold on. Let me flip this around because I don't want to get a copyright. Listen to this.
And for things that don't make sense. Well, for child support. But now I got warrants out for my arrest. For things that don't make sense. Well, for child support. But I know I just gave my son's mother $120,000 for a house outside of child support. But a lawyer, because of a lawyer, I have a warrant for my arrest for $23,000.
Why are you here? Why aren't you arrested?
Because it's in New York. And it's not a criminal warrant.
It's not camping.
And if you go to Choke No Jokes live stream I did the other day, remember he said that's why he's avoiding coming to New York, because he has these warrants in New York for not paying his child support. And it's not a criminal warrant, so they can't just come follow you.
It only can be served there.
In New York. And then the same lawyer, his name is Donald Suarez, he's also representing my other ex-wife. He's representing both of them. And I'm like a good father, and I pay for everything. This person I have another warrant for not paying child support, but I just gave this person $50,000.
But what about the years that you wasn't paying? What about the years that you're not paying? See, you got to take a step back. See, this is the game. This is the hustle. And a lot of men try to do this where they're making $10 million. Let's say you're making $10 million a year net. They're like, well, listen, I gave you $10,000. Child support goes off based upon the standard of living that you have, that the child would have if they were living with you. So what he's doing right now is he's trying to play with the public's mind. And because a lot of you let people play on your heartstrings, you don't dive deep, you don't really read between the lines, you letting them play the mind game with you right now. See, he's mind fucking you because he's saying, I gave her $100,000. But what he's not saying to you is how many years did you go without paying before you gave up that $100,000? See, that's what a lot of you are not saying. A lot of you are not getting into the details. I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to allegedly. I have to say that allegedly. So now let's get up to speed. We got a man that claims to be a tycoon that's doing interviews and podcasts for $500. We got a man that claims that he's a big businessman, but he's coming out of his mouth saying, I'm bleeding money. Guys, he can come to New York. If he gets caught in New York, he's going to jail. Child support warrants are not criminal, which means the police are not coming looking for you. They're not going to come kicking your door and come and get you. They're not going to have a search team out for you if you come into New York. If you come into contact with the police and you have a warrant for child support, you get arrested. Don't believe me? He got arrested last year for child support. All you got to do is go Google Dame Dash arrested for child support. I'm talking facts. I'm not talking he got arrested for child support. Big businessmen don't do that. big businessmen don't do that. Now, I want to get back to this interview because he brings up the child support stuff during this interview. So let's go back. Hold on. I want to go here.
That's all you have to do. You could buy a t-shirt for $5, put a print on it, and sell it for $25.
So what do you...
Listen to what he just said. I want to replay that real quick. He just said out of his mouth, you can buy a t-shirt for $5 and sell it for $25. But he's telling you that this is black empowerment, that this is black business.
Like selling drugs, the same thing. That's all people do. They flip. That's all you have to do. You could buy a t-shirt for $5, put a print on it, and sell it for $25.
So what are you flipping?
What do you mean? What am I flipping? I've made money from Rockefellers and going into Rachel Roy, going into the movies. I've always made investments in my future. So the money that I spend now didn't come from the money I'm making now. It comes from the money I invested in back then. See, I'm a time traveler. So I go to the future, I figure out where I want to be, I come back to the present, and I invest in every single thing that's going to make my future so dope that by the time it's my present, shit is A1. So I want myself and only having enough money to spend for myself. The money comes into the company, it goes right to child support.
So I hear you say you take care of your children. Can you please tell us, because it's been so public, can you please tell us, is there a child support case against you or is there not?
I'm glad you brought that up. So the way I structured one of my companies, the Rachel Roy company, which cost me $6 million, that when the money comes into the company, it goes right to child support. I made Rachel the manager of the company. So Rachel, as the manager of the company, took the money and decided not to cut it to child support. So we both moved to LA, and she makes her and my other baby mother happen to coincidentally have the same lawyer. So when we moved...
So now, this is the mind game that he's playing. This is the mind game that he's trying to play with you right now. Notice that he's supposed to be this big businessman. Yet, if you know you and your wife don't really see eye to eye, why would you make her responsible for paying your child support if you and her don't see eye to eye? Tell me how that makes sense, right? I want you to think about this. You and your wife don't see eye to eye. She has you on child support. You and her are investors and own the company, yet you're going to put her in charge of your child support, and then somehow magically she's not paying the child support. Yet you can't get any documentation to prove this and just sue her? See, you can't run that game on a person like me. You're not talking to no fool, right? If you was running a business, if you was really running a business and you was really doing big business and Rachel Roy misappropriated the funds, why not just sue her? Why not just sue her?
Moved to LA, I don't know if she hasn't paid child support. They do an action in New York while we both in LA. I give one of the mothers $150,000 for a house. I give Rachel $50,000. I have no idea that I have any kind of problems with child support, and then all of a sudden I find out I got warrants.
Now, what does that sound like to you? What does that sound like to you? That sounds like an excuse. And there's 200 people watching this right now, guys. Hit that like button. It helps the content rank in the search engine. Hit the like button. Share the video. It helps the content rank. It helps the algorithm see my content. So please hit that like button. Right? So I want you to think about that. Here it is. You want her. She got you on child support. You're allegedly not paying attention to it. Think about that. Yet she misappropriates the money somehow. So why not sue her? Right? Because she's taking you to court for child support. So why not sue her? See what that's called? That's called the game. That's called hustling. That's called bamboozling people. That's called lying to people. That's called deceiving people. And true narcissistic behavior. That's what a narcissist does. Blame everyone else but yourself. It's everyone else's fault but yours. But you a big boss. You a tycoon. See, this is game. This is a joke. This is hustle. There's no way if I owe child support and my wife was supposed to pay child support, or my ex-wife or my kid's mother, and she doesn't do it, that I'm going to then let her take me again to court for child support after I already allegedly paid it. Does that sound like any sense? You saying my volume is off? Can you guys hear me?
I'm going to then let...
No, my volume's good, guys. That's not me. My volume's good. That's you, Trill Dog. I just checked it. You know, so let's finish listening to him make excuses and dance around this.
So have you gone to court to clear
I'm
it
in
up?
LA right now. Yes, I actually did clear it up, and you'll read about it. Yeah, it did happen.
You say I'm in LA right now. What does that mean? You haven't cleared it up?
Well, what it means is you have to stand before a judge in New York to really truly clear it up.
A lot of people say you're running from New York because
I don't care.
Right? So now he did clear it up. You know how he cleared it up? When he settled with Lee Daniels, that's how he was able to clear it up. That's how he would have been able to clear it up. But he's playing, like, again, see, he's playing on the minds of black people. He's playing on the minds of black people. He's deceiving you. This is what a culture vulture does. Play the victim. Buy my $5 t-shirt for $25 because it's a black-owned business. This is what a black businessman does. And you got to learn how to see through it. You got to learn how to see through the game. Right? Now let's get to him owing other people money. Right? Because he talks about everybody's a culture vulture. Thank you, Real Talk, for the donation. Fraud busting without apologies. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I want you to think like this. This man's calling everyone a culture vulture, right? Well, let's hear what Beanie Sigel has to say about him.
Jay. I wouldn't lie.
Who's Dame? You're loyal to Dame, man. I respect Dame. Dame's a good dude.
No, I ain't loyal to Dame. Dame owe me some money.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! Can we just say how much? Because he just had some properties foreclosed on also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, roughly about, my own lawyer found about $11 million that Damon Dash stole from me. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said Damon Dash stole from you?
Yeah.
Now, might you be putting out a diss track on Dame Dash? Because you're spazzing right now.
It's going. He filed for bankruptcy. I spent $1 million just to say a person owe me. I have a piece of paper that say he owed me some money.
Yeah.
Who wants to go through that?
So you guys have not spoken or seen each other in what period of time?
What year is it?
This is 2010 right now, so we're going into 2011.
Haven't seen or talked to Dame in roughly about 5 years.
Yeah.
Almost 6.
I have to say, man, real talk, that breaks my heart, because when you were going through your whole court situation, he was there, you guys were you know.
That was a facade.
It was.
Yeah, that was smoke and mirrors.
Did you hear what he said? That was a facade. That was smoke and mirrors. See, that's what I'm trying to say, yo, man. What I'm taking from ADOS, I'm not about the reparations. I don't believe we're ever going to get reparations. What I'm taking from ADOS is exploitation, and how we, as black people, are exploited from so many different angles and from so many different people that we look to in our community, that we look to be pillars. We look at people as supposedly uplifting black people and holding black people, to a high standard. And in reality, they're just talking that pro-black babble to get in our pocket and get some money. Because as I said before, and I'll say it again, consciousness and wokeness and pro-blackness is a hustle. And so many of us, we're finally waking up to seeing it for what it is. And I'm glad Beanie Sigel just said that. He talking about culture vulture, but he was robbing the man. He was robbing the man the whole time. And guys, hit that like button. There's 250 of you watching. Help the content rank in the search engines. Get that content out here. This man's robbing people, but then talking about he's pro-black. This is pro-blackness? Come on, man. This ain't pro-black. This is hustling. This is bamboozling people. This is stealing from people. This is thievery. And I have to say alleged, because I don't have no proof. I don't have no documentation. I don't have no documentation to prove that Beanie Siegel's telling the truth, right? But if you are such a good businessman, why do so many people have the same story? Because now, let's go next. This guy's currency, right? Go look this up.
Dame Dash are gonna clash in the courtroom.
Well,
from what I understand.
I don't know what we're gonna do. But when it's all said and done, I tell y'all about it. Yeah.
Might be a little currency, Dame Dash.
Yeah.
are gonna clash in the courtroom.
Well,
from what I understand.
I don't know what we're gonna do. But when it's all said and done, I tell y'all about it. Yeah.
Might be a little more money for them cars or something like that.
I'm trying to get a Porsche. I keep telling you about the boat.
You know, I'm gonna ask you one more question about this Dame situation, man, because I just remember a year and a half ago, man, just being surrounded by all-stars. It was a great feeling. I was there at the dojo, Cootie and Chike, Ruggs B, Styley, Mos Def, Jay Elect, Cool Kids, Smoke Desert that we mentioned him, Erica Badu, RZA sometimes, Ski, just a beautiful collection of talent, man. And you was the first one, really. I remember doing the Rockefeller chain with you, man. You know, how disappointed are you that it kind of didn't work out?
It's not ever disappointing. Like any situation I ever been through, you know what I'm saying? I just look at it as like a lesson, you know what I'm saying? Just learning something. Any chance you get to learn something, that's not something you should be disappointed.
Thank you for the donation, Cameron Lars. Right? So now think about this. So he owed, allegedly, he stole $11 million from Beanie Sigel. Allegedly, he did copyright infringement on this young brother right here, right? Currency. But he's calling everyone else a culture vulture. Everyone else is a culture vulture. We know for a fact he doesn't want to pay child support, right? So here we have a man doesn't want to pay child support. Here we have a man allegedly robbing his quote-unquote business partners, allegedly, and yet everyone else is a culture vulture. And you go around here and you brag about how good of a businessman he is. See, this is black business. This is black entrepreneurship. See, I wouldn't mind him being the snake. Here's the thing. I don't mind you being a snake in business if that's who you claim to be. But don't try to charm and disarm me. Don't say you pro-black and you for your black brother, but you getting a $5 t-shirt and you selling it for $25. That's not black business. That's not black empowerment. Don't say you pro-black and you want to sell a book to black people, but you don't want to hire black people. Don't say you pro-black, but you want to go get a young artist and you want to rape them and steal their talent and not pay them. So you can't play pro-black and be a vulture capitalist. You can't talk about culture vulture this, culture vulture that, but yet you got this track record. It's an oxymoron. It can't exist. They can't exist in the same space. You can't claim that somebody's a culture vulture and you selling $5 t-shirts for $25. I could see you selling it for 10, 12, maybe 15. You selling it for 25. Now, what manufacturing company is making those t-shirts? Who is shipping those t-shirts? So you're overpaying for a black business and they're making all of the profit and all of the money. Now, let's get to the guy, Kenyatta Griggs. And let's get back to the apology real quick, because this is what made him and Kenyatta Griggs fall out.
Anybody. Pause. I'm looking past it. So Jay-Z, if I've offended you, I apologize. Leo Cohen, if I offended you, I apologize. Steve Stout, if I've offended you, I apologize. Just because you don't have the same morals and principles, it's cool. I'm not angry no more. You know, I called Jim Jones today, and I was like, I miss him. I don't know, y'all know, but I miss him. As a brother, I love his family. I want him to be happy. And Jay, you know, the friendship we had was cool, man. I just miss it. But whatever he doing, but I'm cool with it, bro. I'm sorry, man. I wasn't myself for a second. Aaliyah had me fucked up. And Biggs, I'm sorry, bro, if I offended you.
Now, let's hear what Kenyatta Griggs has to say about this, right? Because Kenyatta Griggs wrote the whole book, Culture Vulture.
Deal with false doubt, which is disrespectful to my work, you know, that I did writing this book, because Kenyatta's not a person that deals with fake. I don't deal with lies. I don't deal with false accusations on any level. You know what I'm saying? I try to, more than anything else, come with the truth, because I know people been lied to too much already in society.
This is Kenyatta Griggs speaking. This is old. You can go to Hip Hop Motivation. This happened on February 14th. Better yet, I'm going to put this in the chat so you can go and do your own due diligence and go and watch this. So let's paste that in the chat right now. As you can see, go and watch this video yourself. I'm just going to play a little snippet of it to show you I'm coming with facts. And guys, hit that like button. There's 248 of you watching it. It's free to like the video.
So, you know, why bring forth information that's not truthful? And I believe everything in this Culture Vulture's book is truthful. I know I sat with Dame for years. He told me these stories. I heard these stories even when the cameras weren't rolling. So I don't really believe that what he was saying was not the truth. Apologize.
He doesn't believe that stuff, Kenyatta. He was doing that because he wanted to make money, because pro-blackness is a hustle, and he wanted to sell that book and sell that merchandise, allegedly. That's what it was about. It was about being pro-black to sell a book. It was about creating the boogeyman, the culture vulture, the hustle. That's what it was about.
Apologizing is one thing. You know, if you want to apologize to Jay, you want to apologize to Jim, you apologize to Biggs. That's a beautiful thing, because I really believe that brothers should work it out, connect the dots, and come back around to building with each other. You know, once a homeboy, always a homeboy to me. You know, and Dame is my homeboy. But at the same time, I'm really not rolling with that bullshit you apologizing to Leo Cohen. And I told him this. And the reason being is because I just seen dude on the Breakfast Club act as if he didn't know you. He fronted on you. And then you turn around and tell him that if I offended you, I'm sorry. Nah, man, that's not how we roll. You feel what I'm saying? For nothing. I mean, I know you got your network, you got things you're doing right now. I ain't been nothing but down with you. I ain't been nothing but down with the movement.
The reason why he flipped and he apologized, let me teach you some game, people. Let me give you some game, right? See, you come and you try to be pro-black. And you sell a few t-shirts and stuff like that. You get on your feet. And then you try to launch something big. And then you try to launch like a streaming service, a network, or whatever the case may be, right? You try to do that, and then you start realizing, oh, whoa, black people don't really have any money like that. See, you used to dealing with millions of dollars. You used to selling, you used to doing $1 million a month, $2 million a month. And now you only doing $10,000 a month or $15,000 a month. But see, you got this $10 million lifestyle. And then you realize black people don't really have no money. So then you say, oh man, I can't do this pro-black stuff no more because there's no money in pro-black. There's no money in this. So I got to go and, listen, I got to go apologize to Leo Cohen. I got to go get right with Jay and them. Because see, that's where that real money is at. That's where that real money is at. See, he realized real quick, listen, that pro-black shit, that don't make no money. I got to go apologize to Jay and them. Because if you want to make big money, you're not going to make big money selling to black people. When I say big money, I'm talking about that $10 million a year money, $20 million a year money. You're not going to make that real money. You may make $1 million selling to black people maybe in 2 or 3 years. You want to make that big money, you got to sell to other people. That's the reality. That's where the real money's at. That's why he apologized, because he want to go make that real money. He don't want to make that small money. He trying to get to the big money. That's why he apologized to Leo Cohen. That's why. He want to make that real money. Like I said in that video before, you think I want to come on YouTube and sell real estate courses? I want that real money. I don't want that little chump change. You think I want to sell t-shirts all day long? I want to get real money. You don't get real money by being pro-black. You don't get real money by talking about the white man all day long. You get enough money to pay your bills and come back and do it all over again.
You know what I'm saying? Still down with you. Once a homeboy, always a homeboy. But I can't condone you apologizing to somebody that I seen dish you, that I heard dish you, and we put it in this book. You just discredited the whole Culture Vultures book. It's disappointing not only to me, but it's disappointing to everybody that's following us through this hip-hop motivation thing. That saw us take the Culture Vultures book and turn it into a phenomenon within the hip-hop culture. You know, it sucks when, you know, you're doing business with somebody or you're connected to somebody and they do something that kind of interferes with the movement and the growth of the company or the book, for instance. And I didn't understand it.
Kenyatta, you in the chat right now. Peace to you, Kenyatta. I want to say peace to you if that really is you. I'm not here trying to bash you or anything like that, Kenyatta. But I just want to keep it real with you. Yeah, that book has no value now. Because the guy who told you the stories, the guy who is articulating those stories, he just copped out and said he apologized. Right? So the book now, that book is tainted. You can't sit up here and talk Culture Vulture this, Culture Vulture that, and then you apologizing, and then now you trying to launch a network. Come on, man. Because see, he realized he burnt those bridges. He was playing up a lot of those stories, trying to make money, and now he got to come back and backtrack. But see, the thing is, the power structure don't need them, so they don't care. They need them for. You doing $500 podcast interviews. You doing $500 podcast interviews. Of course, if I was Leo Cohen, I'll front on you. You doing podcast interviews for $500, and you had $40 million. I don't believe that's Kenyatta either. I said if it is him, guys, I don't, you know, it could be him, could not be him. I don't, you know, it's like I'm taking it that serious, Camden, London.
And a lot of people don't even know I was already like 6 chapters deep into the Culture Vultures too. So, being that I was supposed to get with Dame this week and go over those 6 chapters, as well as send them over to Tyra, who's doing the editing for us, it's disappointing because I did a lot of work. I did a lot of work, you know, putting this book together, Culture Vultures, as well as putting the new one together, which is only 6 chapters deep, you know, with the skeleton of the book still waiting to be fulfilled. But I can't fulfill that book. I can't continue to write on that book because there's no telling who else you want to apologize to or say that, you know, it's not really real what you're saying. That's what you're saying when you apologize for something that you really didn't do.
Yeah, he apologized because he knows the truth. He knows the truth. He knows the truth. This is why. Right? So now I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Oh, man, you know, you taking things out of context. How? He had a falling out with Beanie Sigel, falling out with Jay-Z, falling out with Kenyatta Griggs, falling out with Jim Jones. Fall out over and over and over and over again. Now I know what you're saying. Oh man, what are you talking about? Well, let's get to this.
And I did think at that time, I wonder what Jim Jones thinks about that.
I mean, you know, that's kind of bizarre when you call a person a culture vulture and you was doing 100 million in billing in this game. So you know, now people could read through that like you dig.
Now when the world turned on Dame,
did you hear what Jim Jones just said? People can read through that, man. When you getting millions of dollars with Leah Cohen and them, how many times you gonna come out here and how you gonna come out here and talk about Culture Vulture this? These people paying you millions of dollars.
I think you were the only one that stood by his side.
Yeah, I saw you next to him more than
and you stood by his side more than anything else in this world. Then to see you and him going at it, what the hell happened? Was it money? Did he steal? What happened?
Was it a liquor situation? They said it was like a liquor deal that he went ahead with without you or something.
Fuck Danny.
You have it.
You're
no, because I guess the vamp life thing you saying.
I just don't. I don't like. Where I'm from, we rob, we don't steal. You heard? And if I put my trust in you, I put my trust in you. If I put my trust in you, there's nobody that could come to me and tell me anything about you. Period. You dig? Because I'm trusting in you that you're going to do the right by us because you my nigga like that. You dig? And then when you come to find out none of that was authentic and nobody was doing the right thing or had you in mind when they thought they were doing the right thing, then, you know, all the lines get blurred.
What happened? Was it money? Did he steal? What happened?
Was it a liquor situation? They said it was like a liquor deal that he went ahead with without you or something.
In life, everything takes its course. You know, shouts to Dame. That's still my dude. But you know, we gotta go different ways. His perspective on business and mine is way different. Way different, especially when it comes to my money. And yeah, I stand by people I believe in and people I love.
So you heard what he said? My perspective on business is different. You know what that means? His perspective is about real business, right? Not that fake business, not that, oh, I just want to keep putting money back into a company. That's not business. Every time, whenever you start a company, you need to always have a strategy and an exit plan. That's what real business and entrepreneurs are doing. For example, if I go into a real estate deal with my partners, I have an exit strategy. So real entrepreneurs are doing. So I came here and I brought you facts, information. I didn't come in here to slander. I didn't come in here to play no games and joke around. I came to bring you the facts. And hit that like button. It's 263. There's 263 people watching the stream right now. Hit the like button. It helps the content rank in the search engines. And also, my business channel is in the description below. So if you want to follow my business channel where we talk about business topics, it's in the description below. Go over there, subscribe to the new business channel, and hit that notification bell. Now, I want to wrap this up by going back one more time. I want to go back because I know some of you came in late, right? So I want to go back and I want to put things in the proper perspective. Let's flip this around.
I paid Dame Dash for this interview. Now, it wasn't much. It was $500. But I paid $500. It was weird because we you know, my publicist is going back and forth with his connect, whatever it is. And the publicist or the connect is like, yeah, you know, is this a paid interview? And my publicist asked me, she's like, what am I supposed to say when people ask that? And I said, say no. Say it's not paid. And so she said that, and then they come back to her and they say, we're gonna need $500 for his haircut and his driver. That was what they specified. Now, we thought this was pretty hilarious after because, like, his haircut, like, he literally does not have a hair on his head. And that's not a diss or anything. I'm sure there would be some hair on his head. But, you know, he rocks a baldy. Like, Dame Dash shaves his head. So.
Yeah, that interview is from Hip Hop Uncensored. The interview that I use is from Hip Hop Uncensored. Let me take a sip of water. The interview that I played with Jim Jones is from Hip Hop Uncensored. So go and subscribe to that channel and follow them. They're doing a lot of good work over there. So I want to make sure I give them credit. That interview that I played with Jim Jones is from Hip Hop Uncensored. But as we just heard, Adam22 literally just said Dame Dash charged them $500 for that. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say. Oh, you know, shouldn't you get paid? Yes, you should get paid, but when you're the big business tycoon, that's B-list celebrity rates, $500. And now listen to him say this again on the interview.
It's like, yo, I see the scam out here. It's crazy. So if you don't really know this game, something that should cost 10 racks costs you 100. Something that should cost $1 million costs you 10, 20. And I'm the master of a lot of flash, no cash, meaning like, you know, I'd rather show you something.
So, as he just said again, thank you, Hip Hop News Uncensored. I appreciate that. So, as you literally just heard him say out of his mouth, I'm the master of a lot of flash, no cash. He's telling you that he's the master of perpetrating like I have a lot of money and I really don't. He's telling you that.
Talk about it. And if I spend $1 million, it looks like I spent 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Period. So I know the game. But being able to not only make a movie, make TV shows, make docuseries, to have, you know, I have a 5,000 square foot facility in Burbank the last 2 years. I've been bleeding for the last 10 years, spending money, not making it. Spending money and still having to pay a lot of bills. You know, but I chose that life because I'm loving it.
So he literally just said out of his mouth, he's been bleeding. He's been spending money. I'm not slandering him in any way. I'm not taking his words out of context. I'm not on here trying to make up stuff about him. I'm literally giving you out of his mouth what he's saying. And he said this in multiple interviews. Now, is he a legend? Is he a pioneer? Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to learn how to use... You have to learn how to use discernment when you're following someone. And you have to learn how to put things in this right context. And that was the whole purpose of this live stream. I didn't do this live stream because I want to beat him while he's down. I want to kick him. I hope that he gets back on his feet. I hope that he takes his network and he turns it into $1 billion network. I am not here to try to sabotage what he's trying to build and what he's trying to do. I'm here to put it in context for you. Because there are a lot of young up-and-coming entrepreneurs who are looking up to these people. And what my mentor always told me this, you come across the people where there's a lot of sizzle on the plate, but there's not a lot of steak on that plate. And I'm just here to tell you, this is not somebody that you should be putting on an altar. He got lucky because of timing. It's like it's the same as investing during the dot-com bubble. And what happens is when that bubble bursts, then we get to see who's the real entrepreneurs, right? Then we get to see who is faking it till they make it and who is actually doing real business. As I said to you before, that pro-black hustle, there's no money in pro-black hustling. Not when you're trying to make $10 million, not when you're trying to make $100 million. You're not making it off of hustling black people. See, what you got to understand is black people make things cool. But the other ethnicities spend the money. We validate it. We validate it with our culture, with the swag. So we bring validation to the market. But the money comes from the other ethnicities. If you want to make real money, you're not going to make money pretending to be pro-black, selling t-shirts. You make real money by doing business with the dominant society. See, this is what we don't understand. You don't make money by, selling to black people because black people don't have any money. And when you understand that in business, it will help you out. Right? You could be pro-black. That don't mean you got to be ignorant and arrogant. That doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful. You don't have to alienate everyone. You don't have to scream and yell on everyone. You don't got to call everyone a culture vulture. You can do business with other people and have integrity. You don't got to be a dick. Now, somebody came in, they said that he has a website, which I've already acknowledged earlier. He has a streaming service that he's trying to launch. And he puts out some of the content on YouTube. I get that. How many people do you see running around here saying that they're subscribed to Dame Dash's network, his streaming service? Come on, man. Let's be real about it. Let's not play this game. He's not competing with Netflix. Netflix has the Black Panther on there. Netflix has Marvel movies on there. He has Lositis. You really going to compare Too Honorable to the Black Panther? To shows like The Office? To movies like Netflix has The Matrix on there. But he's trying to charge you a similar price to Netflix for original content. Come on, man. Just be real about things. You don't got to come up here and try to oversell it. But see, that's the problem. A lot of black entrepreneurs, they try to oversell the game. Going back to Umar, we're going to have military science. We're going to have farm animals, martial arts training. We're going to go to Africa. How you going to do all that? You barely can get $1 million. It's not practical. What's the tuition going to cost? But see, because we don't ask these questions, we don't study things, it's easy to come and bamboozle us. See, if I come to sell you something, I don't want you to buy it because I'm black. I want you to buy it because you see it's valuable. I'm not looking for affinity fraud. I don't want you to buy it because you like me. I want you to buy it because you like the product. If I sell you an educational course, I want you to buy the course because you felt the course is valuable, not because it's me. I don't want you to buy a $5 t-shirt for $25. I want you to buy it for $25 because you feel it's worth that. You can't run a school on donations. You can't build $1 billion company off of donations. You build a business off of competition. You build a business off of strategic partnerships. When I was in college, we used to do a SWOT analysis where we look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. We had to do a case study for a company, a makeshift company at the time. This is when the iPhone first came out, and they came out with cases. So our case study was, we had to design a case that was waterproof and also could be used when you was in the gym, right? So we had to pick where we wanted to manufacture it at, what would be the threats. Like, we literally went through creating a product. That's what real businesses do. They have a strategy. We had a team. It was 7 of us in the group. One person was in charge of the marketing. The other person was in charge of the merchandising and the packaging. Another person was in charge of the numbers and the partnerships and the manufacturers and the distribution, right? Other people were in charge of the supply chain. Like, it takes a team to run a business. You and your wife can't run a business. That's monkey hustling. That's trying to look big and you really small. But see, when you got that mouthpiece and you got that gift of gab, you can sit in front of black people and lecture them for an hour. They're going to give you that money here. Right? We going to fight white supremacy. But you live in a white neighborhood. White people produce it. It's in white theaters. Right? You fighting white supremacy. You fighting the white man. You educating black people about white supremacy. Yet you live in a white neighborhood, married or dating a biracial woman. The releasing the movie theaters in a white movie theater. The distribution networks, the people who are going to distribute the movie and deliver the DVDs, it's white companies. The people who probably package the DVD is probably white. And I'm not anti-white. I'm not one of these people talking that, because I know that pro-black stuff is not realistic. It's not realistic in the world that we live in. And I know a lot of you are going to get mad about that. I know you're going to get mad about that. But this is the reality. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a businessman, all money is green. I don't care what color you are. All money is green. See, people only talk that pro-black stuff because they can't go nowhere else and make money. They can't compete with the dominant society. So they got to come to you and sell you because they can't make money nowhere else. They only can make money off of selling you pro-blackness. But what is pro-blackness? What is wokeness? What is it? Do you know? Is it tangible? Is it practical? Is it realistic? Are they living the rhetoric that they're preaching? No. But a lot of you don't want to hear that. A lot of you want to hear that, oh, Shay, we just got to go out here and fight the white man. And it's not true. It's a hustle. I watch a faceless man get thousands of dollars of donations. You don't even know if he's white. You don't know nothing about this man, but he's the new black media. That's not media. That's not media. If YouTube wanted to get rid of him, if YouTube wanted to get rid of Jason Black, they could get rid of him like this today. He's no threat. How you a threat and you on their platform? You not no threat. How long he been on YouTube for? Did he try to start his own website and bring people to that website and put his content there? Because think about this. When you donate through Streamlabs, you do know that YouTube takes 1/3 of that donation. So if he made $3,000, $1,000 of that money is going to YouTube. So YouTube, yeah, talk about white supremacy all day long. Have these black people donate money all day long because we getting that money. When you run ads and you make AdSense money, YouTube getting most of that money. They paying you crumbs. But see, because you don't really understand power, wealth, and influence, it's just a phrase for you. You let these people hustle you all the time. And listen, I'm not mad. Get your money. I'm not here to stop I don't want to stop no one's bag. Sell those t-shirts for $25. Sell those real estate courses and don't teach them. Tell them that you're going to give them 7 streams of income. Because if you dumb enough to believe it, then you should get scammed. If you're going to give a Negro $100,000 with no contract, with no business plan, with no company, you don't know what state the business is registered in, you deserve to lose your money. I'm not here to save the world. I'm not here to save you. I want you to get scammed. I want them to keep stealing your money over and over again. I want to see hidden colors 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep making them. Keep buying them. I'm not here to stop nobody's money. What I'm here to do is for the few of you out here that's on the fence, I'm here to wake you up. That's all. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not here to do anything more than that. I'm just simply here. This is my journal. This is where I get to say what's on my mind. I'm on here to say what I want to say. You don't have to agree. You can disagree. It's okay. But I know what I'm saying. I can back it up with facts. I could back it up with facts. So, we've been going now for, let's get to some questions. Hour and 36 in. Anybody got any questions? Yeah, Night. Well, I want to see. Listen, man. I want these pro-black babblers. Man, scam these Negroes for everything. Take all their money. Because if you dumb enough to fall for this, like Umar, could you? This Negro is rolling around in graves with a little Kodak black statue, and Negroes gave him over $1 million. He spent more time in graveyards than he do building the goddamn school, and yet you Negroes gave him over $1 million. But then you'll come and say I'm a scammer because I make a YouTube stream and I may get $20 in donations. This Negro's in the gravesite pouring liquor on people's graves or water on people's graves, rolling around. And you talking about this is what's gonna fight white supremacy? Come on, man, you sound stupid. But this is what, pro-black is. And he got $1 million to roll around in graves. To roll around in graves. This is pro-blackness. You know what I'm saying? Playing around in graves all day, and you gave him $1 million. But then you'll call me a coon. You'll call me a coon, an agent, a Sambo. Yet this Negro raised over $1 million to go roll around in graves all day long. And talk about Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, Neely Fuller, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton School for the Black Boys. But yet you never see him with no black boys. But I'm the coon. I'm the coon. Come on, man. Like I said, man, this is, I swear, it's like I sit back sometimes and I say, man, we gotta be in the twilight zone as a people, man. We gotta be in the twilight. This can't be life, But then I realize this pro-black sector is a small niche of black. This is not all black people. So this gives me hope, because this pro-black sector may be 50,000 strong. Right, there's over 40 million black people, right? So I have faith that most of us, we not like these people on the internet. I think that these people on the internet, they're like a different group of black. So I don't want to say all black people. I want to clarify that and say the black YouTube sector, right? Because it's not all black people, just the black YouTube sector. See. Oh God, that's so true. All that Black Lives Matter too. Jewish have cultural identity, heritage, customs. So being pro your own people is part of the culture of those who wasn't enslaved. He is pimping. That's real. The con us community. I got chicken sandwiches. Yeah, that Popeyes thing was bad, man. That was a bad look. People don't want the truth for real. I can't lie. Even if Jason Black was white, I would still listen to his information. Good. His information is good. Just like if you were white, I would still listen to you because it's good. Guys, I'm not knocking listening to an information. I'm just saying put it in context. Just put it in the context. That's all I'm saying. You can't start a revolution behind a fake page. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You can't start a revolutionary behind a fake page. Mm-hmm. And block. Just get rid of these losers. I used to follow. He said Alex Jones is a nut. I used to follow Alex Jones. I'm confused. Yo, you think selling the t-shirts empowerment? I'm coming to get my bike back. You think selling the t-shirts black power? How is selling the t-shirt black empowerment? How is that black? How are you empowering somebody by selling them a t-shirt? Tell me how. How are you empowering somebody by selling them a documentary or DVD? How is that empowerment? Just educate me. I'm a coon. I'm a Sambo, and I don't know nothing. I don't know anything, right? But you telling me that's empowerment? Come on, man. That's not that. I'm empowering you because you can sit here and listen to me for 3 hours. Like right now, I'm sharing my thoughts. This is not empowering anybody. You really think that this is going to go out here and build a nation? You really think that this is going to go out here and build Black Wall Street? You really think that this is going to build black politics? It's not building nothing. This is just rhetoric. This is just me sitting on here talking. This is not building a goddamn thing. It's not building anything. It's just me talking. You like the way I talk. You like what I'm talking about. That's it. It's not changing anything. Come on, man. At a certain point, you got to look at things for what it is. YouTube is entertainment. I come on YouTube to be entertained. YouTube is entertainment for me. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I may learn something new, may get a little bit of information. This is all entertainment for me. I'm not coming on YouTube thinking I'm going to start some revolution. Why did you follow him? He is crazy. I'm interested to hear your thought pattern. Oh, follow Alex Jones. When I first came across Alex Jones, I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college, and that's when I became woke. So the first documentary I ever really watched was 9/11 Coincidences, right? The conspiracy thing. And I remember watching the buildings fall, and I was like I was sold on 9/11 was an inside job. I still believe 9/11 was an inside job. I still believe in that, just looking at the facts that 9/11 was, and that I just fell into everything Alex Jones had to sell. And then that led me down the path to Peter Schiff and Rand Paul and Ron Paul. Then I came across David Icke and the reptilian shape-shifting aliens from Planet X, and I was sold on that. And then one day I was sitting there. This is back when I used to smoke weed, right? I remember sitting there with my friends, and I said, you know what? If these aliens exist, right, and they can travel all the way from another planet, and they run the government, and they have all of the tanks, then why the fuck are they hiding? And I never forget sitting right there and saying to myself, if they're so powerful, right, they can travel all the way from a whole planet, from another dimension, right? They got all this technology. They run the government. They run the food. They're poisoning you, right? All of this crazy. They got FEMA camps. Then why are they hiding? What are they hiding for? And that's when I realized, I said, you know what? This is all a hustle. This is all internet marketing. It's all internet marketing. All this stuff is internet marketing. That's when I woke up. I realized, I said, yo, this is a hustle. Right? If you were alien, you got that much power, why are you hiding? Are you shapeshifting for? Why not just come out and show who you are? And that's when I realized, I said, you know what? They got me. They had me for a good 2.5 to 3 years. I brought all the books, the DVDs, the lectures, all that stuff. And then I realized it was all the scam. It was to get your money. And that's when I woke up. You know? And then that's when I got into internet marketing, and I really start seeing stuff for what it was. And I started learning about websites and tracking people and stuff like that, and I got into marketing. You know, so now I'm not going to say the information was useless, because somebody just talked about the book 1984. 1984 was a good book. You know, even Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper was a good book. And William Cooper even said that Alex Jones was a fraud, right? So I'm not going to sit up here and say that all of this stuff is BS, because you start to learn about politics and government, and that understanding that whole conspiracy theory stuff is just it's a fear tactic, right? It's a way to keep you scared. It's a way to keep you, it's mind control, right? Making the government seem more powerful than what they truly are, right? You know, it's all a psyop, right? Because you'll never try to overthrow them if you believe that there's some like supreme being. You'll be like, man, I don't want to mess with that. They reptilian, shape-shifting aliens. I can't beat that. Right? It's all mind control. Best decision can't go wrong with digital marketing. Yeah, I got into digital marketing. I just start crushing it. Like getting on the internet, selling it, affiliate marketing. I was in JV Zoo, ClickBank. I was selling products. Then I got into Teespring. I got into Teespring when it first launched. I brought a course from a guy named Don Wilson called FB Ads Cracked, and I just killed it. It's always unforgettable when you realize that you've been taken. Yeah, they got me, guys. I can't sit up here and pretend, listen, I got. But, you know, that's why I make these videos, is because I know that there's probably one of you young guys out here that's falling for this whole, you know, white supremacy thing. I'm not saying that white supremacy doesn't exist. See, a lot of people make it like, oh, you're trying to say white. I'm not saying that white supremacy doesn't exist. I'm saying to the extent that it impacts your life, to the extent that it's like the most overbearing factor in your life that's holding you down, I'm sorry, it's other more important things in your life that you should be worried about than white supremacy. I thought selling t-shirts was empowering. Okay, Bird Gang. I guess you're trolling, or, you know what I'm saying? You know. Fear keeps people from making decisions. Exactly. Fear. First of all, fear keeps you from thinking logically, and then fear and greed makes you make irrational decisions, right? It makes you just go out and just spend your money. Somebody said youth and drugs will have you doing crazy things. Absolutely. What made me start YouTube is I want to work on my public speaking. I came onto YouTube because I want to work on my public speaking, because I have plans that I have business ventures that I want to bring onto YouTube, right? And this is not to sell to black people. This is why I created a business channel. My business channel is separate. This channel is it's very hard when I sit here all day long trading, and I have all of these thoughts in my mind, and I don't really have a lot of friends, so I don't have people to talk to. So me creating this YouTube channel was a way for me to express how I feel. It's like my journal, my diary, and just speak about things, right? Things that I see, and maybe along the way I could help a few people by just sharing my experience, my thoughts. But me coming on to YouTube, I have bigger plans that I plan on doing on my other channel. I'm not, as I said before, I learned a very long time ago, you're not going to make money by trying to sell to black people. So like, I'm not here trying to infiltrate ADOS. I'm not here trying, because they know a guy did a 4-hour live stream about me the other day saying that I'm I'm an agent and I'm in here to infiltrate the black community, and that's just not the case at all. I'm here to work on my public speaking. I'm here to share my thoughts, my ideas about different things. But in the future, I have a whole another direction that I want to go. But I'm not ready for that right now. I'm just not. So I'm in the process of building those things, right? So, but again, I have no desire to come on here and try to like sell t-shirts and real estate courses. That's not what I'm trying to do. And also where I'm at right now with my business, I can't grow anymore. Like my business is stagnant. So I have to look for other avenues. You know, my business was good when I first started because I didn't have a lot of capital. And investing takes capital, right? You need money to invest. So I went into a partnership with my partners where I'm doing an 80-20 split. And that's the standard for the industry, right? They keep 80% of the profit, you keep 20% of the profit. But now I'm to the point in my business now, we've been going on about 4.5 years, where I have enough money I could do my own thing. I don't want to do an 80-20 split. Why do an 80-20 split when I could just keep 100% for myself? Right? So now I'm to the point where I want to branch off and do my own thing because, see, there's limitations to trading. The limitation is that you have to sit in front of that computer for 10 hours a day. Who wants to be stuck in front of a computer for 10 hours? Nobody wants to be stuck in front of a computer for 10 hours a day. You know, like that day trading stuff is not what it's cracked up to be. I'd rather be out here filmmaking, making videos, doing the things I want to do and making money that way than sitting in front of a computer all day long and potentially not even, like with day trading, think about this. I can sit in front of this computer for 10 hours and lose $1,000 in a day. Right? Who the hell wants to think about it? I can sit in front of my computer all day long and lose $1,000. Right? Because trading's just a numbers game. I don't care how good of it, unless you're a high frequency trader, you're going to be about a 50-50 trader, a 60-40 trader, right? So now it's just about risk and reward. I need to make $3 or $2.50 for every dollar I risk. Who the hell wants to sit here and do that kind of all day long? It's just, it's other things I want to do. Like Carl Black said, I want to get into e-commerce. I want to get into, it's a lot of other things that I want to get into, like making my own like physical real product and selling my real product. I have some patents and things that I'm working on behind the scenes. As I said before, I have big plans way outside of, selling courses. So, yeah, we don't have more than 2.5%. Somebody, I just thought I got into Lily Fuller's what book did the person represent? I forgot what it was. How do you feel about J. Cole? Is he pushing the pro-black hustle as well? No. I don't look at J. Cole as an opportunist. To be honest with you, I actually like J. Cole because he's honest and he's fair and he's balanced. See, again, there's different. You can be conscious and not be a hustler. See, a lot of people take my words out of context, right? There are some pro-black people or conscious people who are not hustlers. They have a talent and they're selling you a talent for a fair price. And they speak out against issues. And then there are some people who are predatory. Like I said, if you're selling a person a $5 t-shirt for $25 under the guise that is black empowerment, that's predatory. That's a vulture capitalist. That's a culture vulture. Right? I believe that when you're in a system of capitalism is all about exploiting people, but you can exploit people in a fair and balanced way, right? Like you don't have to gouge them with selling them a $5 t-shirt for $25. Like there's levels to it, and this is why I said you have to learn how to use discernment. I'm not saying Dame Dash is a bad guy. I'm just simply saying that a lot of the stuff that he says is contradictory. A lot of the stuff that he says doesn't make sense. A lot of the things that he says is out of context, and that's just the reality. But again, I think that J. Cole has a conscience. I think that J. Cole is fair. I think that J. Cole is balanced. And I don't think that J. Cole is one of these people out here that's trying to bamboozle people, and live a contradictory lifestyle. We all are hypocrites to a degree. But how bad of a hypocrite is, like, come on. So like I said before, there are conscious brothers and sisters out here. But here's the funny thing. You're not going to find them on YouTube. I think Yvette is good. I don't have any problems with Yvette at all. My problem with Yvette is, well, let me not say at all. My problem with Yvette is, are you a leader or are you just a commentator? Right? Because if you're a commentator and you just want to sit around all day long commentating, then, you know, people got to start looking at you at a side eye as well. Because, you know, you can't sit around and critique all day long and not do something. Right? Like, I get it. We can ask the question. Critique is good but at a certain point, you got to do something outside of just talk on the internet all day. You know, but as I said before, I'm willing to give ADOS to the conference. I want to see what they're going to bring to the conference. What's going to be the next steps as far as organizing, getting together, starting chapters, etc., etc. You know, movements take time to build, and I do not want to be a distractor. A distraction. So I'm willing to give ADOS a chance. I'm willing to give ADOS, as I said, to the conference and see what's going to spring out of this conference is what I'm willing to do. You know, so I want to see what she has to offer. Yeah, I can't get behind the whole socialist thing, Mark Vanderpool. I can't. I can't get behind that whole socialist thing. Again, you know, most of Yvette's politics I disagree with, but I understand the need to get the collective on the same page. And I do not want to be I will never be a distraction for us getting on code for politics. Because that's going to be the only solution that we have that's a tangible solution is going to be political. Let's just be honest about it. It's not going to be no black business. It's not going to be bootstrapping. If we're going to get out of this rut, it's going to be through politics. And I never want to be a distraction for that. I always want to be fair about that. So even if I disagree with certain things that they say, I try to word my words properly because I understand the need to re-educate us politically. And it's definitely, David Carroll says this all the time, it's heavy lifting to educate Negroes about politics. Because, you know, it's just, we're so easily exploited. It's so easy to exploit us. So that's why I like ADOS, is that it's waking us up to politics. So in that fact, I give Yvette credit. I even give Jason Black and Professor Black truth. But how much lecturing I need, you know, I don't need a sermon twice a week. I don't need that twice a week. You know, once we're on code, what's next now? You know, you get what I'm trying to say? Like once we wake up and we're ready to do some work, what's next? That's me. I'm a builder, so I want to know what's next. I don't think Rizza Islam is hustling the community. Again, should you get paid for activism? Yes. Should you get paid for your knowledge, your information, your resources, your time? Yes. I'm all for people making money. How much money, right? Like, see, it's a difference between I'm making a living off of doing this versus, you know, I'm driving a Rolls Royce, living in a mansion and going to Greece. But I'm talking about I'm pro-black. Like you see, like there's levels to, you know, making money, right? Think about this, right? There's a difference between making a living off of and being an activist versus making a killing, right? Like there's a difference. Again, you gotta there's discernment. Should Jason Black make money? Yes. Should Yvette make money? Absolutely. I'm not here to say that they shouldn't make money. Make as much as you want. But you, as a person who's donating, you have to ask yourself, you know, if a person's driving a Rolls Royce and traveling the world and living in a multi-million-dollar house, you know, come on. Like, at a certain point, it's like, does it really make sense? You know, you got to ask yourself that. Because I'm not going to lie, putting together this content takes time. It took me 2 hours to put together this content. I'm not making no real money from this video. I may make $40. My time is worth more than $40. You know, but again, I want to work on my public speaking. Like I want to work on putting together content. I'm learning how to do filmmaking now. I'm learning how to use Photoshop. Like there's things that I'm learning how to do. So, but yeah, you know, should you make money for these videos? Hell yeah, it takes time to put these videos together. It takes work, investing in equipment and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that people shouldn't make a living, but you know, I mean, these people are making big money. I'm not talking about like a little 60,000. Some of these people making $500,000 a year off of this pro-black hustle. Like for you to be making that kind of money off of black people is just flagrant, in my opinion. So, you know, so. I don't really know SETI at all. I've never really watched SETI's content. I'm not really a SETI type of guy, so that's not my it's not my type of he's not my type of cup of tea. I don't have anything negative to say about him. I just like all that cursing and all that. That's just not my type of thing. Like, you know, I don't find any value there for me. I'm not putting them down in any way, but it's just not. SETI's work is not for me. Again, like I said, though, people should make a living. I'm not saying that people shouldn't get paid for their information. I'm a firm believer in you should support content. You should support people. You should donate. It is hard to put together this content and stuff. But again, like I said, how much? You got to put that into proper context. You know, like there's a difference between living comfortable and living large on the hog. It's a big difference. Okay. Well, we can block you, John Etna, ETA. Bye-bye. Again, there's 200 of you while watching this, guys. Please hit the like button. It helps the content rank in the search engine. So definitely hit that like button. I don't know. I never heard of that person. Mentellect Radio 144. Never heard of him. Never heard of him at all. So, guys, we're coming up on 2 hours, so I'm going to end the stream here. My business channel is in the description below if you want to follow me for business content. My social media platforms are in the description below as well. Please do me a favor and like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and we'll probably do this again tomorrow. So again, guys, thank you for watching the content. And even if you disagree, it's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Just be respectful and leave it at that. So have a good one. Thanks, guys.